not. Right. So continuing about our discussion about stroke yesterday. Now I told you there are two types of damages that occur because of stroke. One is ischemic brain damage, where we saw the different types of uh, anoxia that is occurring as a result of ischemic brain damage, where ischemia is occurring in the brain due to loss of oxygen and blood. Another problem that can occur is intracranial hemorrhage. Okay, sometimes intracranial hemorrhage will also lead to stroke. Okay, if there is hemorrhage, a certain part of your brain is not getting oxygen and blood, meaning that area will start having ischemia, ultimately leading to stroke. Okay, there will be ischemia, infarction and stroke like damage. Now, intracranial hemorrhage itself, it can be traumatic, where because of trauma, someone is having hemorrhage, they are getting injured by some particular hard object or something like that, they fall down or something like that. Or it can be non-traumatic, in the sense that let's suppose a patient has hypertension, or they have coagulopathy, or they have vasculitis. All of that can lead to traumatic cause of intracranial hemorrhage. So there are three causes: traumatic, non-traumatic, and the last one is spontaneous. And the main difference between non-traumatic and spontaneous is that spontaneous may be trauma nahi hota, but non-traumatic goes on for a long period of time. Spontaneous, as the name suggests, is a non-traumatic injury that is occurring very quickly. Okay, now this itself, spontaneous intracranial hemorrhage, can be divided into two main types. We have intracerebral hemorrhage and subarachnoid hemorrhage. So one is hemorrhage that is occurring inside the brain, inside the cerebral cortex. The other is occurring in the subarachnoid space. Okay, so let's write it this way. Spontaneous hemorrhage has two types. One is intracerebral hemorrhage, the other is subarachnoid hemorrhage. Okay, now intracerebral hemorrhage generally is of hypertensive origin. The patient will have hypertension, but see, they can, it is not necessary that they might have chronic hypertension. It can be acute hypertension, where the patient is having accelerated hypertension, suddenly the blood pressure shoots up a lot. That can lead to stroke. Okay, in the sense that patient who have hypertension, generally those who are in middle ages, they will develop microaneurysms. Okay, small aneurysms in the blood vessels of their brain. At one point of time, what will happen is that aneurysm might burst, leading to hemorrhage inside the brain. Okay, that is how intracerebral hemorrhage occurs. All right, repeat once again. We have blood vessels inside your cerebral cortex. यहाँ पर generally middle-aged patients, उन लोगों में क्या होता, these blood vessels will develop aneurysms. Okay, here I'm drawing a berry aneurysm. It can be any other type of aneurysm as well. Dissected aneurysm रह सकता, fusiform aneurysm रह सकता, whatever. We discussed aneurysms already. So in any case, this is because the weakening of a wall of your blood vessel. You already know that. At some point of time, when blood pressure shoots up a lot, let's suppose the patient's blood pressure is 190 by 110. Okay, quite excessive, or even more than 200. At that point of time, there's a lot of pressure on your blood vessels, and such weak spots will be susceptible. What happens is this weak spot will burst open. Because of that, there will be blood leaking into your cerebral cortex. That is intracerebral hemorrhage. Now, almost 30 to 40% of people who have intracerebral hemorrhage will die within 2 to 3 days, maximum 4 days they will die. Okay, 30 to 40% of patients with intracerebral hemorrhage will die. The patients who do survive, उन लोगों के अंदर क्या होता, they have coagulation occurring here, specifically a special type of coagulation. What happens is something called a hemangioma is formed. Okay, now what that hemangioma is, or hematoma, sorry, not hemangioma, hematoma, यहाँ पर क्या होता, अब समझा ऐसा blood spill हो रहा, this area, initially there will be the parenchyma of this layer will start getting necrosed. मतलब it will be heading towards necrosis. अब वहां पर hemorrhage हो रहा बोला तो blood supply गया ना, in that in that area, the blood literally is not supposed to come into the tissue. It is only supposed to travel through the tissue where it is supplying oxygen and it is supplying nutrients while taking metabolites away. Okay, any cell that is performing normal, metabolism, it will have several substrates that are found, which basically your byproducts of metabolism, which are carried away by blood so that they can be excreted. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा, blood itself is entering into the tissue space and this area will not get adequate amount of oxygen, at least for a little bit of time. So you will see signs of necrosis occurring there slowly. Now what happens is, ये blood के अतराफ, now this blood is filling, right? You will have fibrous tissue, a cap of fibrous tissue being formed here. I'll use a different color once again. Yeah, a small cap of, thin cap of fibrous tissue will start forming here. Okay, this will make sure that the blood, even though it is coming out of a ruptured blood vessel, it is not spilling into the tissue. Generally people, I'll repeat once again, people who survive, उन लोगों के अंदर, people who survive stroke, specifically because of intracerebral hemorrhage, उन लोगों के अंदर a special structure called hematoma is formed. इसको hematoma बोलते हैं. Now hematoma को, if you see it over few weeks or months, what you will see is that resolution is occurring and it will form a pseudocyst. It will form a cyst-like structure which has blood pooled inside it, but you will see what you call a fibrous coating or a fibrous capsule around it. Okay? And over weeks or months, that fluid inside it, it will become yellowish brown in color. Right? Rather than being pure blood, it will become yellowish brown in color because of stagnated blood. That structure is called hematoma. Generally, people who develop hematoma from intracerebral hemorrhage, those are the ones who survive. And it is very rare that intracerebral hemorrhage occurs through multiple aneurysms, meaning multiple aneurysms bursting after several times, meaning एक बार, let's suppose at the age of 45 they had intracerebral hemorrhage, it is very very unlikely that they will have it again in their lifetime. ठीक है, mostly एक ही बार होता intracerebral hemorrhage. Very very rarely it might get repeated, wherein another aneurysm is developing and that is weakening to an extent that it is bursting apart. People who do survive, they will develop hematoma. Okay, so that is about intracerebral hemorrhage. Then we have subarachnoid hemorrhage. Now as the name suggests, this is bleeding or hemorrhage into the subarachnoid space. Okay, this is also mostly caused by an aneurysm. There is an aneurysm that is bursting and that blood is flowing into the subarachnoid space. Okay, it is going through your pia mater and entering your subarachnoid space where your CSF is present. Now, generally speaking, the most common type of aneurysm that bursts causing causing subarachnoid hemorrhage will be a berry aneurysm. ठीक है, aneurysms कई type के रहते हैं. This is a fusiform aneurysm. Berry aneurysm ऐसा रहता. ठीक है, this is a berry aneurysm. Generally what happens is this berry aneurysm will push into the pia mater and it will start going towards the subarachnoid space. Once it bursts, the blood will flow into the subarachnoid hemorrhage. Almost in 85% of cases where subarachnoid hemorrhage is occurring, the main cause is berry aneurysm, especially berry aneurysm that is occurring in circle of Willis. Circle of Willis क्या है? They are think of them like a chain of arteries that are present in the inferior portion of your cerebral cortex. Okay, circle of Willis is a bunch of arteries as a connection रहता basically. You will have a ring like structure here and from here several arteries will be, branches of arteries will be coming out. This will supply blood to the cortex. ठीक है, the inferior portion of the cerebral cortex उसको supply करता है and sometimes superior as well to some areas. Now ये इसको circle of Willis बोलते हैं. This is present in the inferior part of your brain. ठीक है, somewhere close to your ventricles. Now this fellow, इसमें अगर berry aneurysm हुआ, ठीक है, ऐसा aneurysm हुआ, in 85% of the cases when this bursts, that is when hemorrhage will occur into your cerebral your subarachnoid space. ठीक है, Now, as such, if a patient is having intracerebral hemorrhage or subarachnoid hemorrhage, mostly in case of intracerebral hemorrhage, that area whichever is having hemorrhage, जहाँ पर rupture हुआ aneurysm का, it will show infarction and sometimes vasospasms also occur. ठीक है, the nearby blood vessels which have ruptured, they will show vasospasms. All right. So that is about इंट्राक्रेनियल हेमरेज. इंट्राक्रेनियल हेमरेज दो टाइप का रहता है, इंट्रासेरिब्रल एंड सबअरक्नॉइड. इंट्रासेरिब्रल में ब्रेन टिश्यू के अंदर ही हेमरेज हो रहा. 30 to 40% of patients who have intracerebral hemorrhage die. Those who survive, they develop a pseudocystic like structure. Pseudocyst बोलते हो, it is not a true cyst. ठीक है, a pseudocystic structure called apoplectic cyst, उसको हेमेटोमा भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है, वो हेमेटोमा अगर बना तो blood will be confined to a fibrous, it will be confined to an area, it will have a boundary of fibrous tissue and it will be confined so that it is not leaking into your cerebral cortex. If sometimes a berry aneurysm occurs in what do you call your subarachnoid space or in your circle of Willis, it when it ruptures it will enter your subarachnoid space leading to a subarachnoid hemorrhage. All right. So that is about our intracranial hemorrhage. Now coming to tumors of your CNS. Tumors of central nervous system. Now mainly there are 2, 3, 4 different types of tumors. Okay, at least for you in your portion, we have meningioma and glioma. Now glioma will again be divided. You will also have metastatic tumor and choroid plexus papilloma. We'll discuss that as well. So meningioma क्या है? Now as the name suggests, this is arising from a meninge. Specifically, so we'll start off here. meningioma. अब मैं अगर आपका cerebral cortex उतारा, let's suppose ओडिया, one second. ठीक है, mainly the meningioma, the most common site for meningioma will be this part, frontal cortex का lateral portion. ठीक है, आपका जो longitudinal sulcus रहता उसके lateral portion में either 45 degrees. All right, that is the most common location where a meningioma is occurring. All right, from one of the meninges this fellow will start bulging out. It is literally a tumor. Now this might originate sometimes in your brain. Tumors of CNS generally itself, they might sometimes develop in brain or spinal cord. Meningioma specifically appears in the frontal cortex. Okay, most common site will be frontal cortex. It will be just beside your falx cerebri. Okay, now pathologically meningioma itself, it is a solid mass. Okay, it is a spherical solid mass. So let's suppose that mass looks like this. Okay, let's suppose this is the mass that is occurring laterally in the frontal cortex. Okay, it is developing out of a meninge and this will be hemispherical in shape. Okay, it will be half a circle in shape or sometimes spherical as well, and it will start pushing into your cerebral cortex. It will be generally, it will vary in size, a 1 centimeter to 10 centimeters रह सकता. So sometimes it can be very very big, sometimes it is relatively small, 1 centimeter to 10 centimeter in diameter. Okay, now it is very firm to touch. If you actually cut open the surface of your tumor, you will be able to see a lot of fibrous tissue inside the tumor and you will see certain areas where calcification has occurred. That is why it is very firm to touch. Okay, so meningioma is basically a tumor that is occurring in the frontal cortex. Mostly it will occur in the frontal cortex, specifically a little laterally, frontal lateral cortex में होता, and it is a solid fibrous tumor. Okay, spherical or hemispherical. It will vary in size between 1 to 10 centimeters in diameter. And if you cut open the tumor, you will be able to see that it is fibrous. It contains a lot of fibrous tissue, and there will be certain spots where calcification is occurring. Foci of calcification बोलते हैं उसको. All right. Now, if you see, there are different types of meningiomas. There are specifically 5 subtypes of meningiomas. We'll discuss each of them briefly. We have 5 subtypes. First one is called meningocheliomatous meningioma. Now, ये meningioma में क्या होता? This will represent normal arachnoid cell. It will look like normal arachnoid cell, but the tumor cell itself will form lobules. Okay, that is why it is called teliomatous. It will form a solid mass which has polygonal cells, and it will be arranged in the shape of lobules. All right, that is why it is called a meningioteliomatous meningioma. You will have poorly defined cell membrane. The cell membrane will not exactly be distinguishable. Lobules भी है तो आपका cell membrane clearly नहीं समझ में आता. Then we have another type, fibrous meningioma. Now, as the name suggests, these are made up of fibrous tissue. Specifically, you will have spindle-shaped fibroblastic tumor. Okay? So, if you cut open the tumor, you will see a lot of tumor cells that are arranged in bundles. ठीक है, फाइबर्स जैसा बंडल्स में अरेंज रहता है वैसा रहता है ये fibrous meningioma. Alright. Then we have the third type, transitional meningioma. Transitional का literal meaning is mixed. ठीक है, it will have varying structure. इसका मतलब क्या है? The pattern of the tumor itself, it can be it will have two different types of patterns, in the sense that you will have syncytial cells. Syncytial cells का मतलब है there are several cells that are literally clubbing together and forming a giant cell. ठीक है, syncytial का मतलब है, let's suppose there are two cells like this, they are literally clubbing together with one another and making a bigger cell. ठीक है, giant cell बना रहे उसको. Now in transitional meningioma, you will be able to see syncytial features wherein there are several cells that are combining and forming a syncytium, and you will see fibroblastic features, meaning you will see a lot of fibrous tissue, especially around a capillary. So you will have a central capillary like this. Let's suppose you have a central capillary. इसके अतराफ you will have tumor cells. ठीक है, fibrous tumor cells, and if you look closely, okay, the one that is behind is actually a club. तो इसको अगर आप इनिशियली अगर आप क्लोजली देखें तो you will see that these are formed by combination of different cells. मतलब there were two different fibroblasts that actually clubbed together and formed a syncytial cell. That is a syncytial fibroblastic cell. ठीक है, sometimes you can only have a fibroblastic cell, or sometimes you will have a syncytial fibroblastic cell. In either case, this meningioma will have a whorled pattern. Okay, it will occur in whorls. So it has a pattern around a central blood vessel or central capillary. ठीक है, right? Sometimes around blood vessels as well. So that is transitional meningioma. Then we have angioblastic meningioma. Angioblastic meningioma literally has a very thick, or how should I put it? It will have a lot of blood vessels inside it. Okay, that meningioma itself will develop a lot of blood vessels inside the tumor. Okay, sometimes tumor cells to sustain themselves, they will develop new vasculature. Okay, वहाँ पर नए blood vessels will start being formed so that the tumor itself can live and it can proliferate. Okay, that is one of the big problems in cancer, that new tumor cells are coming and they are taking away nutrients that are supposed to be used for your normal tissue. यहाँ पर new angiogenesis occurs literally, and new blood vessels will be formed inside the meningioma. As such, it will show two different patterns. You can have a hemangioblastic pattern, or you can have a hemangiopericytic pattern. All right, angioblastic meningioma में दो different type of patterns रहते हैं. Then we have the last type, which is anaplastic meningioma. Anaplastic meningioma में literally anaplasia होता. Anaplasia is when a cell is losing its morphological features. ठीक है, let's suppose we have a cell which is, we are telling, columnar, or it is, let's suppose, for example, Okay, ऐसा है. In anaplastic meningioma, what happens is, let's suppose this is the tumor. Now, instead of having neatly defined cells like this, it will have cells which are losing their shape. Okay, anaplasia occurs in the cells that are present in the meningioma. Now, it will mostly occur either in the brain or in spinal cord. दोनों जगह हो सकता है anaplastic meningioma. All right. So those are the 5 different types of meningiomas. Now coming to gliomas. Gliomas, as the name suggests, are tumors that will arise from neuroglial cells. In your CNS specifically, you have 5 different types of neuroglial cells. You will have oligodendrocytes, you will have astrocytes, microglial cells, ependymal cells, and this thing as well. क्या बोलते हैं? Satellite cells. In any case, these क्या बोलते हैं, जो आपके न्यूरोग्लिया रहते हैं, वहां से it is becoming a tumor and it is developing into a cancerous tissue. So first type, astrocytoma. Now astrocytoma is the most common type of glioma. Astrocytoma, as the name suggests, is coming from an astrocyte. Okay, mainly occurs in cerebral hemispheres, especially if it is क्या बोलते occurring in children or in young adults. It will be a pilocytic astroma. Pilocytic का मतलब है it will look like fibers. ठीक है, so this is most common glioma. All right. Mm, predominantly occurs in cerebral hemispheres. Sometimes it can occur in spinal cord as well. ठीक है, CNS का ही part है ना, it can occur in spinal cord as well, but mostly occurs in cerebral hemispheres. If it is occurring in children and young adults, it will be pilocytic astrocytoma. ठीक है, so pilocytic का मतलब it looks like fibers, looks like fibers. All right, and this pilocytic astrocytoma will arise from, especially in young adults and children, it will arise from optic nerves, or it can arise from cerebellum, or it can arise in brainstem. ठीक है, any of these locations it can arise. Especially this is specifically in young adults and children. So it is coming in optic nerves, it is occurring in cerebellum, and it is occurring in brainstem. ठीक है, any part of your brainstem, pons medulla or midbrain. Now pathologically, when you look into astrocytoma, there are 3 different grades of astrocytoma. You will have a low grade astrocytoma, anaplastic astrocytoma, or glioblastoma multiforme. Okay? First of all, low grade astrocytoma. So we have 3 grades of astrocytoma. Okay? First one is low grade astrocytoma. इसमें क्या होता, it is very poorly defined. You will have a tumor which is grayish white in color of variable size. It can be very large or it can be very small. ठीक है, but it is poorly defined. You will not be able to understand the cell lining that is occurring. ठीक है, it will have astrocytes, but you will not be able to understand how the differentiation is occurring. That is why it is poorly defined. That is why it is called a low grade astrocytoma. Then we have an anaplastic astrocytoma. Now, as the name suggests, यहाँ पर anaplasia हो रहा, ठीक है? It sometimes will not be distinguishable from low grade. ठीक है? You will not be able to distinguish it from low grade because low grade में भी you are not able to define clearly. Anaplastic में क्या हो रहा? Morphological features are being lost. So in a way यहाँ पर भी differentiation poor है. But you will see that even if it is anaplastic, there are certain specific features. There will be hypercellularity. A lot of cells will be what you call involved in this. There will be pleomorphism, meaning you will have several cells of several shapes. ठीक है, और अ सिंगल सेल विच इज अटेनिंग सेवरल शेप्स. सो लेट्स सपोज एस्ट्रोसाइट ही ले लिए, अलग अलग, नॉर्मली एस्ट्रोसाइट शुड बी स्टार शेप्ड, बट यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, इट इज डिस्टॉर्टिंग इनटू सेवरल डिफरेंट शेप्स. You will see nuclear hyperchromatism. Chromatism. Literally, the nuclear material become very, very dark, and you will see a very high rate of mitosis. Okay, all of this will suggest that it is an anaplastic astrocytoma rather than a low-grade astrocytoma. Low-grade astrocytoma में ये पूरा नहीं दिखता. You will only see that astrocytes are poorly defined and they will be grayish-white in color. In this, you will have hypercellularity, pleomorphism, darker genetic material, and you will see a lot of mitosis occurring. All right. Sometimes in this anaplastic astrocytoma, you will also see vascular endothelium is undergoing proliferation. So new blood vessels might be formed, and the what you call epithelium of your vascular tissue that will start proliferating. Okay. Third type or third grade will be glioblastoma multiforme. ठीक है, यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा, इट शोस अ वेरिएगेटेड अपीयरेंस. मतलब वेरिएगेटेड कैसा बोलना, इट इज शोइंग स्ट्रीक्ड अपीयरेंस. ठीक है, आप अगर कभी स्ट्रीक्स देखें तो बेसिकली ऑल्टरनेटिव कलर्स इन अ वे. ठीक है, वेरिएगेटेड अपीयरेंस उसको बोलते हैं. सो यू हैव वन एरिया विच इज ग्रेइश व्हाइट इन कलर and one area which is yellow in color. In glioblastoma multiforme, you will have variegated tumor which will show multiple colors. Okay, that same tumor will have, let's suppose this is the tumor, or let me use black. Okay, एक area में you will have representing gray with purple. Okay, because I cannot draw gray on white and there is no color of gray here. Let's suppose this is one color, it will alternate with yellow. You will have different streaks. Here I'm drawing it very uniformly in the sense that it will not be so uniform. You will see multiple colors at the same time, and you will see that there are certain spots where hemorrhage and necrosis is occurring in the glioblastoma itself. Other than having this what you call variegated appearance where there is grayish white discoloration or yellowish discoloration, you will see certain areas where necrosis is occurring, and you will see certain areas where hemorrhage is occurring. Okay, so now what happens is the surrounding brain tissue that will get distorted, and that tissue, let's suppose यहाँ पर normal brain tissue है. ठीक है, because of the presence of glioblastoma, this fellow will start getting affected. Specifically, the contents of your glioblastoma will start leaking into the normal brain tissue. That is quite dangerous. I'll repeat again, glioblastoma multiforme is a tumor that has variegated appearance. It will have different streak-like appearance, wherein the color is varying between grayish white and yellow in color. You will see certain spots where there is necrosis and hemorrhage, and this tumor will start pushing into or infiltrating into your brain. Okay, into the normal parenchyma of your brain. Then we have the next type, oligodendroglioma. Okay, now this is a very uncommon type of very uncommon type of glioma. As the name suggests, it is coming out of oligodendrocytes. Oligodendrocytes are the cells that are responsible for myelinating your axons of CNS. Okay, now this generally appears in isolation, in the sense that only oligodendroglioma will appear. Sometimes there will be tumor of other origin as well, meaning oligodendroglioma के साथ astrocytoma या oligodendroglioma के साथ ependyoma mixed occur हो सकते हैं, या mostly it will occur in isolation, meaning solitary, and the main age in which it will occur is around 30s to 40s. Peak incidence. Okay, pathologically what you see is that this tumor is grayish white in color. It will be well circumscribed, meaning it has well defined boundaries, and it will be a gelatinous. Okay, it will have certain cystic areas where there is hemorrhage and calcification. So let's suppose this is the tumor. Okay, the tumor itself will not be firm, it will be gelatinous mass, so it will be a very soft mass. It is very well circumscribed, meaning it has proper edges and all. And the gelatinous area, the cystic area, that will have certain areas where there is hemorrhage and there is calcification. Okay, this tumor will have uniform cells, uniform round to oval shaped cells. Okay, and they have very well defined cell membranes. So that is one particular characteristic feature of oligodendrium and oligodendroglioma. You will have well defined cell membranes and they will be arranged in a very uniform way, all right, rather than being haphazard. Now we'll continue about the other two three types of what do you call brain tumors tomorrow. Then we'll start the next topic, skeletal muscle system. Okay.